Okay, so once you've opened Revit, we need to make sure that our orientation is set to true north. So if you have a filter view template on, just click on the view template. Make sure you're on your site plan if you should have this. Normally, if you just opened Revit for the first time without the template active, it should be an architectural plan or none. So at our view properties, scroll down to orientation. My view is currently set up to lock it as true north. Yours should be unlocked, and you can just set it to project north and hit apply. But once you've unticked it, it will not change. It will ungray your orientation. So in your properties panel, you can just switch between the two. I'm just going to change my view back to locking it. I'm going to change it to true north, lock, apply, okay. And as you can see, it's locked back into true north. So now, since we are working in Cape Town, we will need to set our location. So now, to set our location, we go to the Manage tab, down to Location. Just give it a moment to load. As you can see, we're currently in Boston. So let's just change this. Cape Town. And just hit search. And click on Cape Town, South Africa. So now we can move it anywhere we want. So let's try and drag it up. Okay. Checking for the road. Putting it back in here. Let's try and find the officer, this campus. There we go. Let's move it a bit up. And there we are set now on our campus. So then just hit OK. We can just double check it. We are set. Okay. Okay, so now we have set up our location and our true north. So now we need to get our SG diagram. So if we go search General Surveyor, then you should get this Google pop-up. So just go ahead. You can click on the first link. It will bring it to this page. So we first want to find out the properties information. So let's go to View Spatial Cadastral Data. So then you'll get to the Geospatial Property Viewer. So we are going to do a new application. So just click on the new application. So now you'll be on this screen. So we know we're in Cape Town. So the site we are going to be working on is not actually at the CAD for All site. So we would need to go scroll down to Stellenbosch. Find Rifeby. I'll give you a few minutes so you can find it. I'll just zoom in here. Follow this road. Go to Watson Way. And we will be working on property 426. So if you click on the property, you'll see it'll be highlighting the entire segment that has been subdivided. So for us to just get to our property, just punch these little arrows and you'll see it'll highlight only our property. So these details here is the important ones we need for that specific property to find our SG diagram. So we would need the province name, Western Cape. Then we would need the minor region, that is Raithby. We will need our parcel number, which is 426. So as you can now see, there's a lot of tabs open. So we're going back to the first one. Now we're going to 4 scanned images. You just click on that, you'll get a new pop-up. Do not close any of the other tabs, because it's going to be asking us questions and then we'll need to refer back to the other tabs that we have opened. So now we are going to go click on search on town, region and farm name, and you'll get to the property search. So now we know our province is Western Cape. Rural or urban, it's an urban area. So the region name, that's where the minor region comes in, the Raithby. Is go back to our other viewer, we can either write it in or you can copy the minor region and then paste it in there. And our parcel is 426. No portion number and the farm name is optional to edit. With all this information we have given it, you can hit search. So once you've hit search, it'll search the South African database of land surveyors, and you can just hit search again and it'll get you the list of documents. And you can just go to the file name. SGs are normally a TIFF file. So just right click, open in new tab. It should download. And we will have downloaded that entire blue section. If you go back, the blue section that we have here was the initial property that's been subdivided. So that would be on one SG diagram. And we have our property 426 here. The other way of doing this, if you have the document number from the title deed, the SG will also always be listed on the title deed, accompanying with some restrictions and rules for the specific property. So once you scan through the title deed, you'll get the SG number, which in this case is 1678 2018. So to search it this way, we'll go back to our first page. Then we'll click scan images again. Then we'll go search on document number. So once we have that now, we go province, Western Cape, and our document number is 1678-2018. We'll search that. As you can see, it is back to the previous page of list of documents. If we just click on that, and we get our. So since we are back in Revit now, we have downloaded our SG. We have downloaded our SG diagram. Now we're going to import this into Revit. So now just go to your downloads, wherever your downloads folder might be, and just drag and drop the TIFF file into Revit. Always remember to save your project. So I'm just going to go ahead and say cancel regarding this, and go File, Save As, Project. I'm going to find my area where I've opened up my project file. So I'm just going to say residential project. And now we have saved our project. Always remember to save as you work along so that you don't lose progress. So we will not be scaling it, as we are going to enter the distances and bearings to create our site plan. The reason why we are not drawing over it, if we go to massing and site, property line, if we click that, it will ask you distance and bearings or create by sketching. Creating by sketching it's not the correct way to do it unless you have a CAD file from a civil engineer that is to scale. So I'm just going to close this quickly and check the scale. Okay, true north is up. Trying to find the scale. I think I might be looking past the scale. There we go. It's right in front of me. So since we dragged it in and our scale has been set to 1 to 100, this is not to scale. So we can delete it, change our scale. Okay, so my template has my scale locked. So what we can do is go to your view template. Right at the top, you can just unclick it. If yours is not locked, you can just click on the scale and hit 1 to 500, and it will change the scale. So I'm just going to re-drag and drop my SG. I'm just going to move it to the side, so that's our property is close to the center. So if we go back to massing and site, property line, create by sketching. Since this is now facing up and we have set up true north, as we don't know where these two lines connect, so just going in the center, there's 35.22 meters. As you can see, our line says 97 meters. So that's drawing we've imported. We've set our scale to 1 to 500, and this is 1 to 500. So this not accurate for our drawing. So let's go back to 1 to 100. And we're going to go back to property line, create by entering distances and bearings. Okay, so now we're going to draw in our property line. If we go to our top ribbon, massing and site property line, click on create by entering distances and bearings, you'll get the property lines pop up. So we know the distance for that section of our property is 10,160 millimeters, because the distances indicated here are in meters and we need to convert it to millimeters. So I'm just going to hit OK. And there is our line. Just going to place it roughly on that area. We know that this drawing is not to scale. So if you want to scale it for just set out purposes, select, click on your SG file, hit SC on your keyboard to scale it, or you can go to your top ribbon, apologies, RE for scaling shortcut. So from, let's say from there, just click on it and drag, spitball the center, and you'll see now, once you've clicked again on the center, just hit enter 10160, and there it has been roughly scaled, as we're just going to use this as indicating purposes to make sure that our distances and bearings line up correctly. So now that we have our line here, it needs to move up. So it is 180 degrees plus something, which we'll need to figure out now. So if we look at our line of this area, our degrees has been seconds and minutes, has been set out here by the land surveyor. So now we will need to convert that into our table. So once you selected your property line that you have placed, let's go edit table. We need now to figure out what the 180 plus what gives us this distance. So now it's going to take 249 minus 180, which will give you 69. So then this will be 69, 46, 10. And our line is now on the correct angle. So how did Revit know it has to lay there? This might have been southwest, and your line might be looking something like this, or because southeast might be lying there. So the fix for this is to know which north, south, east, west to choose. If you just hit DL on your keyboard, it's going to take a wide line. It's going to draw in a little compass. So this is east, south, west, and north. So on that corner, our line lies in the northeast quadrant. So if you select your line, edit table, north, south, we know our line is lying in the northeast quadrant. We just set that to north, east, west. We set east, and our line is back to where it should be. So let's just highlight our little compass. I'm just going to make a group. So compass, okay. MV on your keyboard for move. as we are going to be moving to our next corner here, D. And you see it there. There's our line still. So now we know the next line is on east and south, so from our compass, and our line is 339, 45, 50. So for the second part of our line, we'll just go and select insert, so that it adds a new line. As you can see, this one is set to north and east, but we know it's in southeast. So the distance, 36,680. Select south, west. So this bearing, 339.45.50, is closest to 360. So we have to take 360 minus 339.45.50. That will give us 20 degrees, 15 minutes, and 10 seconds. Because if you take 339.45.50 plus 20.15.10, it'll give you a full 360 degrees with 0 minutes and 0 seconds. So now, once we have done that calculation, I'm going to enter 20 degrees, 15 minutes, and 10 seconds. And just hit OK. Supposed to be east, not west. And there is our second line. Just gonna, while it's highlighted, I'm just gonna right click, override by element, go to your projection lines, gonna select red so that it's visible, line weight. Just for now we can make it 7, hit apply and then OK. So once we deselect, we can see our line a bit more clearly. So from, we can select our compass again. Hit MV on your keyboard, take it down to the next area. We're at B now. So it makes it easier if you have a pen and paper, if you want to draw it. I normally just visualize the compass. So I've been doing this quite a while, setting up properties. So let's just draw a little compass. Our line lies southwest. It's 5 meters. Our area angle is 69.4550. So the way Revit works is the previous ones are over 90 degrees. That's why we had to do calculations and setting up our correct angles for those two lines. So with this line being under 90 degrees, we can select our property lines, edit table, go back to insert, distance is 5 meters, south west, 69, 45, 50. As you can see, it pops it into the correct position. Revit works on 90 degrees because the imperial system of how they do their SG diagrams and land surveyor general diagrams, they only write it in degrees under 90. The South African standard requires 360 degrees for the full annotation.